welcome back to Take Snap. I'm JJ, and today I'll be sharing with you my top prospects for the upcoming NFL Draft. Before we start, some notes. This list is not in order, it's just a list of the top 20 picks in my opinion, and I'll be talking and sharing my opinions about the prospects. So, let's start. Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama. Now, Bryce Young, he's arguably the best prospect in this draft. He's a great quarterback, best quarterback in the draft in my opinion. He can throw really well. He's just really athletic. Even though his size is a little bit of concern, I think that he is a really good player. I think that whatever team he go to, which I think will probably be the Panthers, he'll do really good. C.J. Stroud, quarterback, Ohio State. C.J. Stroud is one of the best players in this draft. Much like Bryce Young, can throw really well, really accurate, can throw down the field, up the middle. And in that game when Ohio State played Georgia, even though Ohio State lost, C.J. Stroud had a beautiful performance, used his legs, and I think if he did that in the NFL, then he could be one of the best quarterbacks. So I think if he could just use his legs, then he would be very successful. Will Levis, quarterback, Kentucky. Will Levis, he's one of the most interesting quarterbacks in this draft class. He has signs of really good play, but then he has signs of not. He is a cannon for it all, according to him, and I agree. He can throw pretty well down the field. And I think that whatever team he'll go for, he'll be really successful. And I think he's the right system, but I think whatever team he goes for the right system, then he'll be very successful. Anthony Richardson, quarterback, Florida. Anthony Richardson is really athletic quarterback. He's like the most athletic in the draft, but also he's a low completion percentage. I think that he is the lowest floor but the highest ceiling. So I think that if you draft him, well, then you're taking a risk. But if you can make him successful, well, then you're going to get a huge payoff. Bigger than C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, or Will Levis. You're going to get a huge payoff. And I think that drafting him would be a good decision if you're willing to take a risk. Hendon Hooker, quarterback, Tennessee. Hendon Hooker is probably the worst quarterback out of my top prospects, but I think that he will go to the Minnesota Vikings in the first round. I think that he'll be pretty successful, and I think that he's a good player overall. I don't get a good cast around him in this last season, but I think he's just a good player overall. I think that he'll be very successful to whatever team he goes to. Bijan Robinson, running back, Texas. Oh, Bijan Robinson, best running back in this draft. Definitely. He's a top 5 in skill level, but not a lot of teams need a running back, and not a lot of teams will take a running back in the first round. But I think there's a couple of teams like Philadelphia who might take him in the first round. Well, I think he's just a really good player. I think that he'll be very successful. Great running back. He can just run super well, and I think that he'll be really good wherever he goes. Jamari Gibbs, running back, Alabama. Jamari Gibbs, he's just a really good running back. I think that he's the second best running back in this class behind Bijan Robinson. And I think that he can just be a great running back in this league. And I think that, I think he'll be second round draft pick because if running backs get drafted in the first round to be Bijan Robinson. And like I said before, not a lot of running backs get drafted in the first round. So I think he'll be a second round pick, but he's going to get an amazing second round pick. And that he'll be really good. Jackson Smith-Njigba, wide receiver, Ohio State. Jackson Smith-Njigba, he's just great. He's very athletic. He has great hands. Even though he was injured last season, I think that when you go back to the tape from before last season, he's amazing. He is the best wide receiver in this draft class. I think that I know he will be a first-round pick, and I think that he will be very successful in the NFL. I think that he could even maybe be a top 10 pick, depending on what teams want to do. So I think that Jackson Smith-Njigba is great, and I think that he will be even better. Zay Flowers, wide receiver, Boston College. Zay Flowers, he's just so good. He is very just showish. He's just amazing. Sometimes people think showy is a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. He's an amazing wide receiver. He is arguably the best wide receiver in the draft class. I think he's the second best. I think that wherever he goes, he'll be very successful. I think that he will be great. I think he is the most underrated player in this draft, even though he has a lot of hype going around him. Jordan Addison, wide receiver, USC. He's amazing. I think that he's the third best wide receiver in his class. He'll be a first round pick. He'll just go out, be good, and I think that whatever team will go to him, he'll be happy. They'll be happy. I think he has some flaws, but I think at the end of the day, he'll be a really good draft choice. I think that he could be one of the best wide receivers in the league. Quentin Johnson, wide receiver, TCU. Quentin Johnson is just so good. He's amazing. He has some flaws like catching problems and stuff, but I think he's just really good. I think that he used to be the number one wide receiver prospect, but now I think he's the fourth best, but it's still really good. I think he'll be a late first, second, early second round pick. He's just amazing prospect though, and I think that he'll go on and be very successful. Josh Downs, wide receiver, North Carolina. Josh Downs is an amazing player. I think that he's just really good. And I think that even though he's a little undersized, I think that he will be very successful. I don't say that about a lot of these players, but I honestly think he will. I really like his play style a lot, and I think that he's the fifth best wide receiver in the draft. I think that he could be a first round pick, maybe a second, but I think that he just will be amazing. And I think that he might have the highest ceiling. I know others say probably not, but might have the highest ceiling out of all these wide receivers. Devon Witherspoon, cornerback, Illinois. Devon Witherspoon, I think he's the best cornerback in this draft. I think that he'll just be amazing all around. And that's the thing about it. I feel like all around, just best position for value. I think that's what matters most. I know a lot of teams need a cornerback. There's a lot of good cornerbacks in this draft. And I think that he is one of the really good cornerbacks. Will Anderson Jr., edge rusher, Alabama. Will Anderson just really good player. He can just tackle well. He can just do it all. I feel like that he could be the best prospect. I feel like he's on number 3 overall to the Cardinals. I think that he's just a great player and just great overall. Jalen Carter, defensive tackle, Georgia. He's probably the best football player in this draft, I will say. He's amazing. He's probably the best player on the field, win on the field, and going 100%. But the off-field problems is the problem. He just has an attitude. I think that off the field, if whatever team will draft him, which I think will be the Seahawks, I think he was off the field problems away so he doesn't get suspended. Then I think that he'll be a really good football player. And I think that he'll be really successful in this league. That's it for today. Thanks for listening to Take the Snap.